Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for another episode of Milk It and a reaction and review to Love is Blind, the finale. So today I'll be reviewing episode 8, episode 9 and 10. So let's get started. Episode 8, Countdown to I Do's. Right, in episode 8, Jessica completely denies any feelings for Burnett. Clearly the drinking affects her memory because she denies the surprise birthday party where she threw herself on Burnett and was hitting on him. So this was very uncomfortable to watch, as she says that she has no feelings for Burnett whatsoever and she's ready to get married to Mark. She's so ready, she's so happy with him, and so on. Ginani, I call her Gigi. So first of all, I love the fact that they have the little lovers tiff, you know, Gigi and Damien's lovers tiff. And we see one in the gym where she's literally like on her phone, on social media while she's working out. So Damien's trying to talk to her and Damien just says to her, I want to feel like I am your priority, okay? He needs to feel that communication with Gigi, and the fact that she's taking time to post on Instagram while he's talking and text friends and so on is quite annoying for him. Right, so during this argument in the gym, they both argue and then Gigi walks off and Damien literally says there is no door down there, the door down there is locked, and Gigi is like, I don't care. Now guys, you need to watch this. It's so funny to see this pair together having the lovers tiff. They had one in the early episodes and they're having another one now. So this is countdown to our dues, countdown to the big day. So really and truly, this kind of arguments, you know, it's obviously not appropriate, but it's gonna give someone cold feet by the end of the day. Okay, then we have Amber and Burnett. Clearly, Amber is struggling with the wedding bills. You know, she's drank a whole bottle of wine to sort of consolidate herself and tell Burnett this, and she's quite honest with Burnett as well when she comes across and tells him that, you know, there's quite a lot of bills to come with the engagement and, you know, the planning of the wedding. Burnett bites his nails because he's so nervous at what's, you know, coming. He's so anxious about it all, and the way she discloses everything to him, I think she came across very, very honest. He does explain that he doesn't want any financial worries when he comes to, you know, his future arrangements with Amber. So hopefully, you know, they can both sort out their financial situation and be on the same page. So with Cameron and Lauren, Lauren has a drink with a friend. You know, she invites her for a quick lunch, and, you know, in this episode I kind of feel like Cameron is more ready to be with Lauren, and Lauren is more stressed about the way or what her friends will be thinking. She doesn't want to disappoint anyone, and also doesn't want to project that same disappointment onto Cameron because it's not fair on him. And finally, she does say to her friend that she doesn't want a divorce either because, you know, it's happened in her family, you know, her mom and dad being divorced. So, you know, these are issues that are playing up on Lauren before the big day. Okay guys, Mark and Jessica. Okay, first of all, what is wrong with Jessica? Somebody needs to come and help Jess. Okay, she criticizes Mark a lot. You know, it throws a surprise dinner for her, it cooks, it's put rose petals on the floor, and guess what? They are both in separate rooms while they're eating. For real, oh my god, I can't believe I actually watched both of them sitting in separate rooms eating and, you know, talking and having a conversation with a wall. Okay, so Jessica says it makes me feel like, you know, when we're both in a pod, I feel a bit more comfortable talking to you like this. But honestly, I will say, if anyone is to go out of the way to cook for you, to be romantic, and you are on a date, or, you know, you're planning to marry this person, you don't sit in separate rooms to have a conversation, regardless whatever it is. So that was the right sort of like off mark for me on Jessica. Jessica literally should not have done that to Mark. It was quite embarrassing to watch. She explains about her abandonment and detachment issues. Clearly it's affecting her relationship with Mark, but, you know, she could have handled that a lot more better, and she knows so much better. That was, you know, that was such horrible for Mark to be there and to, you know, have to deal with that. So now again we are back with Damien and Gigi. They have a dinner date and Gigi is texting on social media, and again Damien explains his frustration and, you know, feeling the detachment from Gigi when she does this. Damon then says that he feels he needs to be more submissive because he has been more submissive, because he's scared of losing Gigi, but that's going to change. Now, I wonder what Damon meant by that. So basically, he kind of felt like throughout this whole experience, he's been submissive to Gigi, and probably the way she reacts and her feelings, and he's going to change that and turn that round. But Gigi is so sincere. I think they need to learn more about the relationship and each other's personalities. She also explains in this episode that she sends family supplies every month. She helps them and so on. So obviously she's got a good spirit. It's not that she's a bad person, just maybe a bit loud, but she's 25. All right, guys, Kelly and Kenny. Okay, so let's talk about sex, baby. That's right. It's all about sex, and the fact that Kelly and Kenny haven't had sex yet. Literally in depth, thinking and talking about the SEX. So basically, Kelly is explaining to Kenny that in the past she has not climaxed. So this is a big issue. She doesn't reach that climax, and obviously I'm sure Kenny wants to make sure she reaches that climax. So during this episode, we see them talk a lot about their physical attraction. Alright guys, now episode number 9, Bachelor and Bachelorette Party. Jessica, tells a friend about Mark's age, and she has a drink with friends, and she's like, oh, I feel a bit insecure about the age, and her friends are like, age ain't nothing but a number. Jess, I've been telling you this. If you watch my show, age ain't nothing but a number. Okay, so that's not an excuse to not have a physical relationship with Mark. Then you have Damien surprising Gigi again, with rose petals, shoes, bags, dress, and literally it takes her on a helicopter ride. Now this reminds me of 50 Shades of Grey, where he's just literally Christian takes Anastasia into the helicopter ride. We all know that famous scene. So this was super romantic, tops for Damien for doing this for Gigi. Obviously there's there's something really, really strong there. So hopefully they do end up going down the aisle. Okay, the bachelorette party. On the bus, the girls are having the party. They have strippers on there, and on the bus with them. Obviously we see Amber get really, really drunk, and talks about marrying Burnett. Now there's a scene where Amber's really, 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 really drunk, and it's very uncomfortable to watch actually, where she talks about marrying Burnett. And then we have Jessica. Jessica is drunk again. I feel like Jessica is always drunk. We always see her drunk. And then she actually hugs Amber, and both girls kiss at the bar. Like, obviously they were super drunk, but if you've been watching this episode from episode 1, you would know that something like this to happen is a freaking miracle. Okay, so I never imagined anything would happen between Jessica and Amber. Okay, Jessica kisses Amber. Amber's face was like, what? Okay, so yeah, that you need to see that if you've been keeping up with episodes. Alright guys, then we have the guys, the bachelor party, okay, and it was quite a nice opening to see like an art exhibition. It's a calm mood and sophistication with the wine and the cheese, and then Burnett just starts stripping himself away. He starts stripping off because obviously it's a bachelor party. Where are all the strippers? Where are all the strippers? There's no strippers to be seen. Burnett starts taking his clothes off because he's like, what's going on? However, it is a nice setting, with the poker games. They had a bit of art, gallery sort of exhibition going on. The friends were there, of course, to celebrate the occasion together, and hope they all walk down the aisle and say yes. Okay, but we also see Kenny talking to Mark about sex with their partners. So Kenny was confiding in Mark, saying that, okay, we haven't done it yet, and then Mark was like, oh, we did it, it was great. It kind of hints that it was great with Jessica. And then Kenny says that him and Kelly are still waiting to do the business. So I don't know how this is going to affect the actual day. All right, episode 10 is the wedding. It's the big day. Yeah. Right, so the wedding day, it's so beautiful. It starts off with Gigi and Damien. Okay. It's a beautiful scene where we see Gigi ready to get married with mom and all the family. You know, she has a beautiful family, and you know, Damien is literally there as well. They're ready to say their I do's. They're both very emotional and they both give their speeches. Now Gigi says I do. She says it first, and then Damien waits a while, looks like he's about to cry. Then everyone's looking at each other like, what's going on? Why isn't Damien saying yes yet? And then Damien just doesn't say I do. He just says he can't. Now when this happens, Gigi handled it, the initial reaction pretty badly, but who wouldn't when something like this happens? Like, all I want to say about the whole reaction with Gigi and Damien and not going through with their I do's is, why did he not just tell her? Why did he not just say, you know, I'm not ready? You know, why go through all of those romantic gestures? All right, you guys remember the romantic gestures? The one in the, you know, in the helicopter, the one with the chef that comes round. You know, I don't know what I would do in that situation. Personally, I feel for Gigi in this situation. Okay, so she's pretty upset and she runs off, and obviously you would expect anyone to do the same. Okay, and to be quite honest, I don't know why Damien did what he did, why it took her so far to not say yes. You know, it's not fair on her. I literally, at one point, I just couldn't watch. I was screaming my head off. I was like, why wouldn't he just say yes? You know, and then it comes up with so much excuses about, oh, this, that, and the other. You know, in another scene, we're seeing Gigi really pissed. Okay, so she's seen red. Okay, and so right for her to be pissed, because she's so real about this. She takes a chair, she sits down, she sits both of them down, and she says, let's talk, and she tells him to please sit down. Okay, so the conclusion in this is that, you know, Damien kind of feels like, you know, he doesn't know where Gigi's head is at certain times. But I'll be honest with you, she's got a good spirit. Okay, she's only 25 years old. All right, and I personally think that, you know, if Damien is to have a longer sort of relationship with Gigi, I think further on in the future they will definitely walk down the aisle. I think they're both suited for each other. You know, everything happens for a reason. Alright, so Amber and Bennett. So Amber comes in to get married, and she's literally saying to everyone that Bennett's been getting cold feet all morning. Now, why is Bennett getting cold feet? What happened from the night before to now? Anyway, so, you know, the wedding goes on, and they've got the guests there. Everyone's family members are there. Obviously, Bennett's brother is watching very closely, because he's like, he's not going to go through with it. So yeah, Amber says yes. She's very happy to say yes to Bennett. She's very excited, you know, to be married with him, and loves him very much. And Bennett literally makes everybody wait. We're waiting to see what Bennett says, and then finally he says yes. Okay, literally when I was watching that, I had to say, phew, I'm so glad he says yes. And we have one happy married couple. Okay, one happy newlyweds. Amber and Bennett, congratulations, well done. Okay, we've got one. Okay, so Kelly and Kenny, and Kelly's getting ready to walk down the aisle, and Kelly's sister is very concerned about, you know, the way, you know, Kelly might feel about getting married, but she does explain to Kelly that this is the best man Kelly has ever brought to the family, to meet the family. So you know Kelly's sister is reassuring her that Kenny's actually a very good person. It's very well spoken, it's articulate, and it presents himself very well. So Kelly and Kenny both give beautiful speeches, you know, about each other's feelings. So Kenny explains that, you know, no matter what, he'll be there for Kelly through thick and thin. Okay, this was really beautiful to watch. So when they do ask the I do's, Kelly says no. So we don't know what Kenny would have said if Kelly didn't say no, but I think Kenny would have said yes, because his reaction when Kelly said no was epic. He didn't want to speak to the camera, and I would feel the same way as well. This whole journey, we've all thought Kelly and Kenny were the ones that had no complications whatsoever. You know, she wanted to wait before they had sex and so on, and I just feel like, what happened? Again, that went left. That literally went left again. So yeah, Kelly and Kenny, it was really sad to watch them not say yes to each other. Okay, I was really not happy about that one. I was not happy, bunny. Alright guys, Jessica and Mark. Oh my god, there's been so much going on with Jessica and Mark building up to this moment. Her dress was beautiful, off the shoulder, elegant. Okay, Mark's, I have to point out something. Mark's friend Breda literally has been asking him about getting married to Jessica all throughout the show. You know, he's unsure, you know, if maybe he should rethink about his decision. And Mark keeps saying, I am sure about my decision. I love Jessica and I want to marry her. I want to be that rock for her. He's always having to defend Jessica to his friend. So I don't know if Breda was a very good friend in this situation. Okay, so while they're walking down the aisle, Jessica enters first, of course. Sorry, no, Mark is waiting at the altar for Jessica. So Jessica comes in and she walks in alone. Jessica walks in down the aisle alone. There's no one holding her arm. You know, it almost made me cry because I was just like, why would you walk on your own? So it was very brave for her to do so. There's so much reasons behind it, I'm sure. It was a stunning entrance as well. It was a moving moment. So well done to Jessica for that, for actually, you know, braving and walking down the aisle. So yes, of course, you know, they asked a big question and Mark says yes. Of course he says yes to marrying Jessica. And then they ask Jessica and she makes everyone wait a long time. Okay, she's waiting a long time, you know. And she literally says, I can't. So when she said this, I was literally like, oh yeah, sure, we knew from day one you was never gonna marry Mark anyway. Okay, everything leading up to this kind of showed that Mark loved Jessica way too much than Jessica loved Mark. She did not appreciate him. If she had appreciated him, she would have kind of felt to dig deep and find out a little bit more about Mark, and rather than being so concerned about herself and abandonment and this and that, you know you had the issues before you got into sort of like talking to somebody. And then Mark as well, he has come across really hard as well. He's been pushing Jessica to sort of, you know, deal with her feelings and you know whether or not she wants to be with him. So I think pushing someone in that aspect in a relationship will never work. So on both parts, it's a downer. Okay, so Jessica walks off and says that she feels sorry and bad for Mark. So Mark is crying with his mum. It's really sad to watch. It's very emotional. He literally cries with his mum, and then we see a next scene of Jessica just like sleeping in her room and just quietly just on her own. And she says that she actually does not feel sorry for what happened, you know, because she felt she was being true to herself. Really, how can you feel like you're being true to yourself when you've just done that to somebody? I think to be true to yourself, you would have just cut it off, you know. I believe Jessica wanted airtime. She wanted to be out there and to be known, so she used this opportunity to get herself out there. She did not think of Mark's feelings, because if she had thought of Mark's feelings, she would not have carried on with the experiment. It's as simple as that. Yay! So it's Lauren and Cameron. Okay, so these two, my favorite couple. So Lauren's mom looked absolutely gorgeous. Dad was there, pops. Okay, so Dad was there to give Lauren away, and you know, he does say to Lauren that Cameron is a very lucky man. So we see them walk down the aisle, and Cameron, of course, he says I do because he loves Cameron. He loves Lauren to bits. So yeah, Cameron says I do to Lauren. Lauren makes everyone wait as well. Okay, naughty girl with that one. She makes everyone wait, but then eventually she says I do. And honestly, I jumped up when I heard her say I do. I jumped up for joy. Everyone must have thought I was mad. But yeah, happy newlyweds, you know. So we've got two. Okay, that's two down there that's gone down the aisle. So guys, just a recap there. Out of the 5 relationships that we saw on Netflix, 2 out of those 5 relationships are now in a happy marriage. Like, who would have thought? You know, I know I was doing this review and I was watching this thing as well, and I'm just like, oh my god, are these people gonna actually do it? And sometimes when you find somebody, it does happen like that. Okay, that is fate. Okay, you can't stop fate. Okay, so in a sense of the 2 people that did end up getting married, I think, you know, it's supposed to be. If not, they wouldn't have said yes to each other. So to Amber and Bennett, to Lauren and Cameron, like, big congratulations to you guys. I'm so happy for you guys, and thank you Netflix for bringing this show to me and for letting me come out here to review. And guys, if you want to see more of my reviews and if you want to hear more of my reactions to shows on Netflix, please just subscribe and I'll bring you those shows as soon as I'm able to do so. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to Milk It, and we'll see you in another review. Thank you, bye bye.